Hello, everyone. Good evening to you all. So, Sell Like Her podcast is dedicated to inspire and empower women to pursue an excellent sales career by filling the gender gap to live to the fullest of her potential and to achieve financial independence. I will be interviewing amazing, successful women sales leaders and CEOs from India and around the globe, where we discuss their sales journey, their challenges, their wins, and much more. And I welcome today's guest, Roshni Baronia. Hi, Roshni.
Hi,
I
Tilga.
just
I'm so happy to be.
Yeah, me too, same. So I'll just give you a little intro about you, then we dive into the conversations. Roshni Baronia is a founder and podcast launch strategist of Done For You podcast. She is a podcast host of Is the Sales, TEDx Speaker, author of Revolutionize Your Sales Mindset, strategic sales expert at RB Consulting, international summit speaker. So this is about Roshni. Yeah, Roshni. Yeah.
Thank you for the introduction, Tilga. And yes, there are a lot of titles being squeezed into that introduction, but trust me, they have come to me and I have worked on them for a long period of time. So it's an accumulation of 15 plus years as an entrepreneur. So I am proud of each of the title that goes in there. So yeah.
Yeah. I can make it out. It's very crisp now, but I know the behind the scene how much you might have worked out.
True.
Roshni, I'm very curious to start the conversation with. I know you didn't have a work experience. You directly dive into a business at the young age, at being a woman, how it's all started.
Hmm. So good question and point to start off this conversation, Thilka, because yes, you rightly said I have no corporate experience, so to speak, because I actually never studied to become employable. Always my childhood dream had been to be an entrepreneur, and I had uh, hold on to that dream, or in the first place I had that dream because I saw my father, who is a serial entrepreneur himself, right from a young age. So like it's the case for most of the daughters, their father is their first role model and hero. So for me also it was the same, and I wanted to be like him, an entrepreneur. So I never thought of doing a job or being an employee ever. So right from a young age, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So that's why I never went into a job also. But yes, it wasn't that right from day one or right after my college or education completion I got into entrepreneurship. There I did have a little bit of experience in merchandising and in animation, graphic designing, and all of those things. But though those were passing phases, because ultimately at the bottom of my heart I always knew that what I wanted to do in my life. I wanted to be a businesswoman, and that's how it started. It was a childhood dream which eventually got materialized in 2009 with the launch of my first business. And thereafter it's been a journey from being into e-commerce to then getting into sales consulting, and now into being the founder of a podcast production company, which is Done For You podcast. So not just one, but now this is like my third business, which is happening.
Okay. I see, it's like product, service. So you have that wholesome experience worked in various industries.
Yes, yes. So if actually all those things happened very gradually. I was not very intentional about that. I wanted to get into service business or I wanted to do a product business. It actually was something which I again derived as a business lesson from my father very early on. That. He used to say that when I shared to him that I wanted to be a businesswoman, I want to do MBA. He said don't have to study business to become a business person. You just have to identify a need in the market and just fulfill that gap. And that was one of the earliest business lessons that I took from him. And I just went ahead with it. So the first business that I got into was into personalized products for children. And that was something which was very, very new for India, specifically in 2009, because not many people were doing personalized products, and that too for a very specific niche. And so that's how that business got started, because I already had my professional degrees in fashion design, so I wanted to do something with design. But the interesting thing was that over a period of 5 years that I was doing that business, I also was interacting with a lot of women entrepreneurs, and I was able to see that they were not able to scale their business from a home based business to the next level, because they were not able to have that strategic acumen. And strategy was something which came very easily to me. And so that's when I felt that it's my responsibility, kind of a way, or a calling in a way, where I just don't grow my business, but help many other women also to grow their businesses. So that's how I got into consulting in 2016. So in 2016, I launched my sales consulting. I started working with women-led startups and small businesses to help them grow their revenue through very systematic way of how they plan their business, how they build their sales pipeline, and how they essentially work on their sales mindset and skills. Because that is something which women specifically faced a lot of challenge, because on one hand, as a business owner, they want to grow their sales, but on the other hand, they don't like selling. So that's where the sweet spot came in. That's where I started helping them out. And since 2016, I have been working with women in the area of sales and strategy. And recently, last year, we also got into podcast production, because podcast essentially is a great tool for marketing your business, for telling the world about what you do. And it's a medium to create a lot of value for your audience, as well as build authority and impact for yourself. So that's how we got into podcast production. And yeah, that's been our journey.
Yeah. So it's mainly you identify the need and how your service can, satisfy the need, right?
True, true, true.
And my question is related to what you just said is, I know sales is a heart of any business, right? What do you think in your journey sales has played a role throughout the journey? What you felt sales in the initial stage, and now what you feel sales is all about?
You are asking the importance of sales for a business, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, so essentially, of course, we both come from the sales background. We know that without sales, there essentially is no business. It's more of a charity or a hobby. But having said that, what goes behind making sales so important for a business is that ultimately it is about creating value. And if your product, program, service is not creating value or adding a meaning to your client's life, their business, their work, their anything that you are helping them with, if it is not doing that, if it is not creating a value, then sales will become very, very difficult. But if you are able to identify how your product, program, or service is adding value or benefiting your client, then sales becomes very easy. So that value creation aspect is very important to make sales an easy task for your business. It has to, your product, program, or service has to add some value or be of something to someone. So that is what makes it so important that sales in itself is actually has got a very bad rep, but the moment you add meaning to it in a way where it is benefiting your client, you are able to see how it is solving their problem or pain point, and then you are able to see beyond the features of your products. That is when you are able to equate sales and value, and hence it becomes all the more important for your business.
Well said. Got it. And was there any challenges for you, Roshni, specific to sales when you start your business?
Oh, yes, of course. So essentially, in my first business, when I started out, I didn't know that uh, I'm even doing a sales. It was as simple as that I've got a product and I need to have customers for it, right? It was as simple as that, because I didn't come from that mindset of, okay, I have built a product and now it is so good that everyone will line up in front of the door to buy it. I didn't come from that mindset. I came from the mindset that I've got a product, I've got to sell it. So initially, of course, I didn't have that challenge. But what I observed in my work with so many women entrepreneurs is, especially first time entrepreneurs, is that they don't come with this mindset of that I am the first salesperson of my business. Being a
Mm.
founder, we tend to hide behind so many tasks of the business, be it operations, be it marketing, be it building the team, or if you are a solopreneur, all the more reasons to just bury yourself into so many other things and not focus on sales. So that is one of the first challenge that I see entrepreneurs struggling with, is that they don't focus on the first and foremost important thing, which is making the sales, getting your first 10 customers. Tend to hide behind the frills of making your very pretty labels or packaging and customer experience strategies, but you will create customer success strategies when you'll have customers. So go after the first 10 customers, getting the customers. And the second challenge which I feel entrepreneurs have is that they are not planning for sales. They are not doing sales planning. So it's not only important to have a financial goal, but also a roadmap as to how you are going to achieve that financial goal. So that sales planning is not there. How many clients you need per month, per quarter, how to achieve them, what are the kind of activities you will be doing to get those clients or customers. So that is not there. And the third and the last thing is a well articulated sales process. Even if you are a solopreneur, even if you are the only person who is doing sales in your business, it is important for you to articulate your sales process, because until unless you do that, you will be fumbling through every step of your sales journey, your buyer journey. So you need to have all your sales collaterals, all your marketing collaterals, proposals, email sequences, everything listed out, so that it's very handy for you to just pull it out and send it out to your clients and prospects. So a well articulated sales process as to what comes after each step is very much needed. So those three things are the key challenges of any entrepreneur, first time business owner, that they need to focus on the right things. They need to do their sales planning, and they need to articulate their sales process. In fact, that is something which I have listed out in a very well structured manner in a personal sales planner. If your listeners would like to have that, I can share the link with you, and you can mention it in show notes, where a very easy to follow system and structure of how solopreneurs especially can get all their sales activities together is listed out. And I hope it's a digital planner, it can be of help to them.
Yeah, so that will be great to have all the business owners. So definitely I'll put it in the show notes. Thank you for that, Roshni. So I wonder, like what made you to go to the one business to next business, like how it all
Yeah.
happened.
That's a good question, actually, because what happens is that when people enter into a business, uh, many a times they enter it into it thinking that it's a lifetime thing. They'll always be doing one thing all throughout the life,
Yeah.
but that has never been the case with me. I Like I said, I started off the first business lesson for me was to identify an opportunity in the market and go for it, and that's what I have been doing it through all my businesses. So when firstly it was the personalized products for kids, the second one was sales consultant, because I saw an opportunity and a very glaring need for women to be more confident in sales. And also, honestly speaking, when in 2016 I started out as a sales consultant, I had a hard time making people understand the difference between sales and marketing, and sales coaching was not a thing at that point of time,
Yes.
because either it was being categorized under business coaching overall. So the business coaches were telling people how to do sales because that came under the aspect of revenue increasing, or there were the concept of sales outsourcing, that probably whenever I used to say I'm a sales consultant and a coach, oh, so you'll get us leads and you will convert clients for us. I'm like, no,
Hmm.
I'm not going to do that for you. Or it was sales training. So sales coaching was not a concept at all. So I had to actually just keep myself like limited to call myself as a sales expert or a consultant and focus more on the strategy bit. But I knew that the mindset bit and the skill part is so big in the entire sales function, especially for women, that I found other ways to help women uh, by launching my podcast, then doing so many free resources which can help them with their mindset, their skills, their sales planning, everything which can actually be other than the consulting bit. So then I thought that since coaching, especially in the sales domain, is so new, that it's better to give it as a resource and like free support to all the women. And that's what I did. But I'm so happy that now there are so many communities and people like you who are talking about women in sales, and it is so encouraging that that we are having these conversations and these initiatives which is propelling women in sales and to take sales up as a career choice. So yeah, good work from you also, Thilka, on that.
Yeah, thank you, Roshni. It's all like we are following your steps. Whatever you have done for the women community, we are just following it.
Oh, that's
Doing
nice
our
of you to
part.
say.
That's all. But I really appreciate the guts what you have, because it's not easy, uh, uh, especially for a woman jumping into business is the challenge. And top of
Yes.
it, like shifting to other business, that's also a new challenge, right? So
Yes.
that it's a big challenge, and hats off to you to take such big steps, big courage to move one to one business, and that is going to serve more women, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I believe that when you have a strong purpose at hand and you have your purpose leading you through your way, you find the courage and the passion to pursue it. Because if you just keep it limited to your personal gains, very soon you will lose out the energy and the passion to follow it. But when you make it as something which is you making your contribution to the entire world, then you find the power and the courage to follow it. And that's what has been my case. The moment I moved from a commercial business to consulting business, uh, that is something which entirely changed for me when I was thinking about the women community at large and not just myself.
Yeah, it's beautifully said, right? The purpose and the calling, when it is there, and the universe gives you more power, to take up responsibilities, to move forward. I think that's
Yes,
what I see in you. Like the purpose is what it makes you to drive.
true, true.
And see, I know like it's not that every business goes in a big accomplishments in a big way. There will be some shortfalls. I really want
Yeah,
to know how you handled when there is a shortfall, and how what you do to overcome the challenge. Everyone goes down in life, but how fast they come up is what matters. So I just want to know from
right.
you.
Right, right. So yeah, rightly said, because when you are a business owner and every time you choose or decide to get into a new business, you are like starting from scratch again. When you switch over jobs, then at least after doing the work, you will get a paycheck. No matter how courageous you have been in to get into an entirely different domain or company or changing cities, whatever it is, but at the end of the day, you will get paid. But that doesn't happen in a business. When you when you get into a new business, you are starting from zero again. And at least for the first few months, there won't be any money coming into your bank probably. So
Yeah.
yeah, that takes a lot of courage and a lot of financial planning and a lot of visioning as to how you will cover your expenses and how your business will thrive in the first 3 or 6 months or even an year. So that is something which one needs to do when they get into a business. I would honestly say that the first time did this switch, it was not easy at all. So when I moved from e-commerce to sales consulting, it was a big shift for me, because from a product based business, I was getting into a service based business. And I had no clue how to sell services, because for a product, it's easy for people to just see it. It's pink, it has got embroidery, it has got polka dots, or it has got stars as a print, so it was people can see and buy.
Mm.
uh, but in a service, everything is like, again, value creation. It is about how you are able to establish yourself and communicate the meaning you are going to add in their life or a business. So I had no clue about how to sell services, so it was a steep learning curve for me to learn how to sell service, how to position myself as an authority. I very intentionally had to work on my personal brand as well. So that authority building aspect was something which I had to very intentionally work upon, uh, that I didn't know at that point of time. So sorry, that it will take such a long time. But the second time around, when I was starting Done For You podcast, I knew better. So it was easy for me to now build my confidence and start speaking about authority building because then I knew how the personal branding thing worked, how authority building worked, how to create influence. So all those aspects which are very, very critical for sales is something which I had learned along the way. So second time around, it was a little bit easier. But I would say that transitioning a business, the shortfalls have always been that whenever you are entering into a business, you need to know who your target audience is and how you are positioning yourself and your brand business and move them. So that is something which you should be clear about from day one. In the first business, I didn't have that much of clarity, but second time around, I knew better.
Okay. S- Yeah, I think some network issue, I believe, right?
You want me to switch over my internet connection if there's a lag or
I
something?
see some issue in your internet.
Let me switch over and then try, huh?
Yeah.
Give me a sec. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's move ahead.
Yeah. So we were just discussing, like, was there a challenge when you gone down, shortfall in the business, and how you overcome, right? Like on the family front, was there any challenges? Because this is very important aspect to discuss, I believe, because many women faces such challenges.
Hmm.
Until she proves
Yes.
herself, she won't be getting a good support from the family. So how to handle
Hmm.
it?
Hmm. Yeah. So having walked that journey over a long period of time, now probably I look back and I'm in a better position to tell women who are entering into this space as to what to feel and what not to feel guilty about. And probably that's the only thing I can say. But everyone's journey is different, everyone's situation is different. So full respect to that. But just to share what I went through is that initially, yes, when I started out, there was a lot of resistance from my immediate family because of course it's shaking up of their comfort zone as well, because everything is settled, the kid is being taken care
Yeah.
of, but now with the mother gone, there is extra work for other people. So so definitely there's a bit of resistance for people to do that, and it's very difficult for you to make people see or believe in your dreams, because they are your dreams and it is important for you to achieve them, not for anybody else. So until unless you show the results, nobody is going to believe you as to why you are taking all this pain and why you are doing so much of hard work and putting in so much of effort. So no one will be able to reason it in a good manner. But what makes sense for you is that you are the only one who's gonna push yourself to chase those dreams, and if you are not going to do that, no one else is gonna do that. So don't ever give up on your dreams. Hang on, and some or the other day, it might take 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, but results do start showing up. And it's not about the results as much as it is of the journey and your persistence. People start respecting you for the persistence that you display, rather than how much probably revenue you generated, or how much money in the bank you were able to bring in. Just the sheer fact that day in, day out, you are following your dream, you are becoming a role model, not for yourself and your family, but your children and your community and society as well. And that is much more powerful than anything else. So every woman, when she decides to pursue her dreams, is in a way becoming a role model for the next generation of daughters who are coming in. So it's a big responsibility, so don't give up on it.
Yeah, I wonderfully said. It's I so relate to it. It's not what you achieve, what you define success as. It's
Yes,
not in terms of money. It is beyond your authority, the self identity, the self respect, self satisfaction that you have done something. You are going to contribute
exactly.
something to the society, your children, the way you show yourself to the world. That's more important.
That's what, because the definition of success is different for everyone, but the definition of persistence is same for everyone.
Yeah, true. Roshni, I would like to know, like, see, I know, especially in India, there are a lot of homemakers, right?
Mhm.
Because because of the family support, as soon as they get married, a lot of people quit their job, or as soon as they give a birth to child, they quit the job. So I know there are a lot of homemakers who are very skillful, knowledgeable, qualified. Do you think something we can do if they start as a side hustle or just as a part time, if they do sales job, that gives
Yeah,
them some confidence, courage, then slowly they can get into a business? What is your
yeah,
view on that?
yeah, yeah. So that's a very good thought, Tilga, because I know many women who start thinking about pursuing a side hustle if they have 3 to 4 hours, even 5 hours at hand every day. Then they think about options like content writing or social media marketing or even HR. But why not sales?
Yes.
So they are not looking at sales as a side hustle or a career option, more owing to the fact that sales traditionally has been seen as a male dominated function. And no matter how cliched it sounds, but that is what has caused so much repulsion in women's mind as to sales is a bad function and it's not for me, because men probably are more talkative and aggressive and they can do better at sales. However, that's not at all true. And the another thing which also restricts them from entering into sales is that it is thought of, or it is perceived as, that sales is primarily a numbers game. You have to run after targets, you have to achieve this much, do this much of calling, and so forth. And to that, I want to say to women that you just need to switch the way you look at sales. All the mothers are seeing their children watching games, video games, playing games, and they cross one level, second level, and they earn so many points. It's like having so much of adrenaline rush when they play video games, right? Why don't you see sales at as that game? If you are able to gamify sales, you will be able to have so much fun out of it. So instead of getting fearful about chasing of numbers, or this is the number of uh, client calls I have to do, or this is the revenue goal I have to hit, gamify it. You just think of it, okay, what can I do to achieve that target? Or you just make fun of it. For example, many people are fearful of rejection. What if you turn it around to saying, Like, hey, let's see how many no's I get today. Okay, I'm going to make 50 calls. Let's see how many no's I will get. It becomes a game for you. And and in fact, there's a very wonderful TED talk by Jia Jiang on 100 days of rejection. And he exactly just gamified rejection to overcome his fear of rejection. So the moment you gamify anything, you are able to start extracting fun out of it. And believe me, a lot of women need a lot of fun in their life. You don't have to be so serious all the
That's
time.
true. That's true.
That and Yeah, you can have more fun out of it. So if you just see sales as something which is like a game, you will have more fun out of it. And so yeah, it's a good thing if you will see it as a career choice, because it will pay you much better, and you will get to learn so many things, because sales after all is a skill based thing. It is, of course, strategy is there, system is there, planning is there, but at the end of the day, it's a mix of art, science, and skill. And every day, if you are able to improve your skill, hone in your skills, from negotiation skills to communication to how you speak to your clients, how you appear on video, how you write your emails. So these are small little things which add up to improve your selling skills. And just pick up one thing, keep gamifying it, keep improving on it, and sales will be fun, and there will be no reason to fear it.
Yeah. I love what you said about rejections, gamifying it. That's a good
Yeah.
way of putting in to face the rejections, right? Many have the fear. But I would personally feel it's just a perception that, numbers are fearful and sales is not for a woman. But every function there is a challenges, right?
Yeah.
It's not
True.
only in sales, but it's the society is what created such a hurdle. It is risky and it's challenging and numbers everywhere. Don't you feel, even in production, who are a production manager, he also have his own target, per day so many
Yes.
products he has to produce. Same way like IT or
Yes.
a BPO, they should finish a lot of calls, right? It's the
True.
perception, the mindset, what's changed the game. And here, a lot of opportunities. I also want to say in this platform, women have to see what opportunities sales is going to bring in. It's just not thinking in the other way about the fearful all this, like
True.
networking, building a community, and a lot of exposure they have talking to different people, and they see a lot of different challenges. It's not just every day doing same kind of process functions everything, so it's a
Yeah.
different where they see every day that actually make fun of them what they
Yeah.
do. So you have to
True.
see in all the
True.
angles.
True. Absolutely right.
My last question, Roshni, to you is, which I ask all the guests: what's your daily habits which helped you for your business, for sales, or overall personality?
Mm. Mm. So I would say there are three things which are very, very essential for me as a part of my daily routine. And first is my morning ritual of my yoga and meditation that goes into the first hour of my day. And that is like the energy booster. so, so that is a non-negotiable thing that I do. Then my reflective exercises, which is like thinking and writing and journaling a lot about both the aspects of things that went well and things that didn't go well, maybe in the past week, the past month, or whenever things are like clogging and fogging my mind. So it's good to have those reflective exercises and talking to yourself kind of a thing. And the third thing, which is very important part of my personal growth and which helps in professional growth as well, is taking intentional and frequent pauses, slowing down, because it's very easy for us to just keep chasing and keep running day in day out with the loads of to dos that we have. But to intentionally carving out time and space in my day where I slow down, take things at ease, and take a little pause. So that is very important. So my yoga, meditation, reflective exercises, and slowing down and taking pause, that is very, very important for me.
Yeah, so I love the last one because usually there's meditation, yoga, and reflection, journaling, and all. I've listened and I also follow a few things, but this passes is something is very new learning for me today. Like
Yeah.
relax, relax for some time.
Yes, yes, it's so important. And slowing down, even if you don't take a pause, then slow down. Take things at a so slow pace as and when they come. So not just trying and rushing and pushing things, but let it be. Let it come at its own pace.
Nice. Okay. Nice to have you today, and I thoroughly enjoy the conversation today with you, Roshni.
Same here, Tilka. And it's incredible to know the kind of work you are doing through your podcast and the various initiatives that you do. And I'm so happy to be surrounded with people like you who are so intentional about helping women rise in sales. So thank you so much. And yeah, I as a business owner, I'm always looking for good people to work with me in the sales function. So if anyone listening to this podcast is looking for doing wonders and in sales function and seeking more fun out of it, I'm happy to receive a call from you or a mail from you at roshni.baronia@gmail.com.
Yeah. Thank you, Roshni. Nice to talk to you today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.